Some people are not tired because they worked too hard today. They are tired because their mind never stopped thinking for even one moment. Overthinking has become the background noise of this generation. People smile normally in public while privately fighting thousands of thoughts that never let them rest emotionally. And tonight, this poem is for the people whose minds feel heavy even during silence. I think one of the most exhausting things a human being can experience is fighting battles that nobody else can see. Not physical battles, mental ones. The kind that happen quietly inside your head while the rest of the world thinks you are completely fine. Overthinking works like that. It slowly drains your peace without making any noise. At first, it feels harmless. You replay conversations a little too much. You analyze small situations. You wonder whether people truly meant what they said. But slowly the mind turns simple thoughts into emotional chaos. And before you realize it, your own thoughts become the loudest source of stress in your life. That is the dangerous thing about overthinking. The problem is not always reality. Sometimes the problem is the endless possibilities your mind keeps creating. You imagine worst-case scenarios constantly. You prepare emotionally for pain that has not even happened yet. You become anxious over changes that may not even mean anything. And eventually your brain forgets how to rest peacefully. I think many people became overthinkers because life repeatedly made them emotionally uncertain. Inconsistent relationships, broken trust, mixed signals, disappointment. After enough emotional confusion, the mind starts searching for hidden danger everywhere. You begin analyzing tones, reply times, energy shifts, facial expressions. Because once your heart gets hurt unexpectedly, your brain starts trying to prevent future pain before it arrives. But the sad truth is that overthinking does not protect peace. It destroys it. You lose sleep replaying moments repeatedly. You create imaginary arguments inside your head. You overanalyze simple messages until your emotions feel exhausted. And the worst part is that people around you rarely understand how mentally draining this becomes over time. From the outside, overthinkers often look completely normal, but internally their mind never stops moving. Even during quiet moments, even during late nights, even during moments that are supposed to feel peaceful, the brain keeps searching for answers, explanations, reassurance, certainty. And certainty is something life rarely gives completely. That is why overthinkers often feel emotionally tired even after doing nothing physically difficult. Mental exhaustion is real, very real. I think this generation became mentally overwhelmed because modern life constantly overloads a human brain. Too much information, too many opinions, too many comparisons, too many distractions. The human mind was never designed to process endless emotional stimulation every single day. Social media made overthinking worse too. People compare themselves constantly. They question their appearance, their success, their relationships, their progress in life. And comparison silently creates emotional pressure. You begin feeling behind even when your own journey is progressing normally. That pressure slowly damages mental peace. And eventually people become addicted to worrying, not because they want stress, because their mind no longer remembers how calm feels emotionally. That is one of the saddest parts about chronic overthinking. Peace starts feeling unfamiliar. Silence feels uncomfortable. And rest feels undeserved. So the brain keeps thinking endlessly even when there is nothing left to solve. I know people who cannot sleep without replaying old memories first. People who mentally relive embarrassing moments from years ago. People who constantly fear losing others emotionally even when nothing is wrong. And honestly, many overthinkers are simply people who care deeply for too long without receiving emotional security consistently. Overthinking often grows inside sensitive hearts. People who notice details deeply. People who feel emotions intensely. People who become emotionally attached to words. Energy and behavior changes quickly. Their mind does not relax easily because their heart has experienced emotional instability before. That is why reassurance matters so much to emotionally sensitive people. Not because they are weak, because uncertainty exhausts them mentally. But unfortunately, modern relationships often create more confusion than peace. People communicate indirectly. They hide feelings. They send mixed signals. They avoid emotional honesty. And all of that creates perfect conditions for overthinking to grow stronger. The mind keeps searching for clarity while the situation keeps creating confusion. And slowly emotional exhaustion becomes part of daily life. I think many people listening right now are mentally tired in ways they cannot fully explain. Not because one major tragedy happened, because hundreds of small thoughts quietly destroyed their emotional energy over time. That kind of exhaustion is difficult to describe. Your body feels present, but your mind feels distant. You struggle concentrating. You lose excitement for simple things. You become emotionally drained from conversations that once felt easy. And eventually even happiness feels temporary because your brain immediately starts searching for future problems again. That is not living peacefully. That is surviving mentally. And there is a difference. I wish more people understood that overthinking is not attention-seeking. It is emotional overload. It is the mind carrying too much pressure for too long without proper rest. And honestly, some people are only overthinkers because life repeatedly forced them to expect disappointment. Broken trust changes the brain. Emotional inconsistency changes the brain. Repeated pain changes the brain. After enough emotional damage, the mind becomes hyper alert, constantly trying to prevent future heartbreak. But healing begins when you finally realize something important. Not every thought deserves your attention. Not every fear deserves belief. And not every worst-case scenario inside your head represents reality. Sometimes your mind is reacting from past pain, not present truth. That realization changes everything emotionally. Because healing from overthinking is not about forcing the brain to become silent instantly.